Don't get a job. Okay, this is 4 reasons to never get a job. And hopefully the YouTube algorithm is going to push this video to anyone who needs to see it, who is currently in a job. Maybe you're working for someone you don't enjoy, you're doing something you don't enjoy, whatever. And I'm going to convince you, hopefully, why it's probably not a good idea. And maybe this is just if you need my permission or my whatever, maybe you need just permission to launch out and do your own thing and run towards something you love, like doing something you love, instead of working for someone you don't like, then so be it. Okay, this video can be that permission. So the first reason why you should never get a job is, you probably already know this, you have no freedom. When you're working for somebody else, you are locked into that office or that place of work. You can't work anywhere else unless you have a remote job. You have to work set hours. Usually it's like 8 hours a day, which is your whole day, by the way. That's like all your time, pretty much. By the time you're finished, the day is done, the sun has gone down, you have other things to do, you have housework to do. Without realizing it, it's stealing all of your time, and all you get back in return is like 3K a month, 2K a month, right? Sometimes not even that, in exchange for all of your time. And then all you get back is a small paycheck that barely covers your bills and a weekend. And then usually on the weekend, you just have to do housework or something, or, errands, stuff, maintaining your car, which is only there to get you to and from work, right? So you have no freedom. It's literally like slavery, modern day slavery. The only worst case, the only situation that's worse than a full-time job that you don't enjoy is being in debt. And even worse than that would be to be in debt and have a full-time job, which is also a situation a lot of people find themselves in. Complete slavery, no freedom, but there is a way out, and that's the good news. The second reason is that you don't actually need one. In 2023, which is when this is recorded, but also onwards, you don't need a job. Like, it's a complete old paradigm, old way of thinking. This idea that you have to work for somebody else's company in order to get money from them is completely outdated, because somebody made and owns that company, right? And that company is making huge profits, unless they're doing badly. So why not you start a company? And especially when you consider that starting a company now is easier than it ever has been. There is now more opportunity than there ever has been in history, because we have the internet, we have blockchain stuff, we have automation, AI, fast internet speeds. The internet has created a global workforce where you can hire people from all kinds of different countries, different talents. This is literally the best time in history to make your own business, and it doesn't even have to be that difficult. Like, you don't have to make this big company with these offices and all these costs and overheads and hire people and all this stuff. No, you can literally just make a website or a YouTube channel, and that can be your business and that can be your income. There's no limit on how much you can earn by doing that. And you have complete control over how often you work, where you work from, how much you earn, and what you do. I mean, come on, you don't need a job. It's one of the worst forms of income, one of the most unstable, unreliable forms of income, which I'll get onto in a second. But just try and break this idea that you need one. You literally don't need one. All you need is some kind of money to come into your bank account. There are infinite ways of making that happen. Infinite different business ideas and angles. You could, you could create an Instagram page where you reshare pictures of cats, and then you have an affiliate link to a cat thing. Like, there's all kinds of stuff you can do. If you like video games, you can record yourself playing the game, and then you get AdSense revenue when people watch the video if you post it to YouTube, right? There's infinite ways. So this idea that you need to work for somebody else in a typical 9-to-5 job is just outdated thinking. It doesn't really work anymore like that. And quite often that doesn't actually make people happy either. So yeah, you don't need one. Third reason is it's pretty much the worst tax rate that you could possibly get as a person in a developed country. So let me explain. By working for somebody else as an employee, you are taxed at the full rate of income tax. You are paying the highest percentage of your income in tax out of everyone. More than your boss, more than the company owner, more than the investors, the shareholders, the directors, more than the freelancers even, you're paying as an employee the highest rate of tax. So you might be paying 40% of your income, just giving it away to the government in taxes, whereas the person who owns the company might be paying something like 3%, right? Because they're taking dividends, they're taking stock, they're reinvesting this, they're, diverting this profit to here. Like, and obviously I'm not a tax consultant, but I know quite a lot about how these things work. And you can see for yourself, like the income tax rate on dividends is often either zero or very low, like less than 10%, which you can only get if you're an owner or a shareholder or a director of a company. You can't get that as an employee. As an employee, you get given a chunk of money, let's say 3K a month, and then from that 3K, the government takes 40%, and you're left with just enough to pay your bills, right? It gets even worse because of that chunk that you're left with, you can't declare things as a business expense. So if you own your own company, what you can do is you can say, right, I just bought this laptop, which I'll use for business. I can now write that off against my tax, against my income, and I don't pay tax on that money that I would have spent anyway. Whereas if you're an employee, all of your expenses and costs, everything you spend your money on, you just lose the money. You just completely just lose the money. Like, you never get it back. You don't get any kind of like tax benefit, refund, tax credit, none of that. You just lose the money. So this is why it's the worst position to be in. There are other reasons as well, but let's not make this video too long. The fourth and most important reason, this is a big one, okay? Having a job where you work for somebody else is the most unreliable, unstable form of income. Why? Because you're only getting one income source from one place. So you're depending on that one company to give you your entire income to live on. So that means if you lose that income, you lose everything. Do you understand? You have no backup. You have no, oh, it's fine, I'll just, put more work into this income stream. No, you have only one income stream. So if you get fired, or if your boss downsizes the company, or if you lose your ability to work, especially if you're in a physical job where you need to use your body to work, if you lose any of that, you've lost all your income. And you have to somehow figure it out, with the pressures of all these bills coming in, you have people depending on you. You have to figure it out now. Whereas if you work for yourself, you can build unlimited numbers of income streams, right? The average millionaire has 7 forms of income stream, 7 different income streams, right? Not 1, 7, the average millionaire. Most people that I know that are doing well have more than 10. Usually it's about 15 to 20 income streams. It might be, royalties from a book that they published, passive income, completely passive. It might be dividends from stocks in a company they own. It might be ad revenue from a video from videos they post on a YouTube channel, like this one. It might be money from selling ebooks or video courses. It might be consulting fees. It could be anything, right? But the average millionaire has 7 forms of income. So as you can probably imagine, if they lose one of those income streams, it doesn't matter. Literally, they don't care. Because firstly, it's hard to lose an income stream anyway, especially if you've built it yourself, because, and I teach how to do all of this, by the way. I teach you how to build these income streams based on doing something you love doing. The link's in the description anyway, but so if they lose one of those income streams, firstly, they can just say, okay, well, I'll just fix the income stream. Nobody's fired me, I work for myself, so okay, I'll just fix the income stream and get it back to earning me money again. Or if it's somehow completely gone, which is very unlikely, they don't care because they have 6 more. So they would just say, okay, well, I lost, what even is that, like 10% of my income? I'll just put my energy and time into these 6 other streams of income. And pretty soon they'll replace the one I lost and it'll be no different. Absolutely no different. I've built everything this way, right? I've lost entire websites out of accidental stuff, being on accident doing something, and it didn't matter because I was so diversified. I had so many income streams that I can lose one and it doesn't matter. So this is really one of the most powerful things I teach in the Freedom Tribe, which is in the description, is how to actually build your own business based on something you love in a way that it can't be taken away from you. You can't lose the income. It's like the most stable, reliable forms of income you can imagine because it's completely diversified. You could lose one and you still have 9 more. And even then, you can just build back that one you lost because you're in control. It's not like you're being fired from somebody or you have a client or something like that who can just cut you out. No, if you build it the way I'll show you, you just decide, okay, this income stream has gone down a bit. I earned a bit less this month from this one, so okay, I'll just fix it. I'll just put my energy and time into it and build it up again, and before you know it, it's back to normal. So yeah, I do teach a lot of this in a lot of detail in the Freedom Tribe. I just want to encourage you. I want to end on a positive note here, because this is all like, don't get a job, never get a job, but it's actually very positive. You probably shouldn't get a job, but you should be really excited and motivated to build your own thing, your own businesses, your own income streams, because they can be really simple as well. They can be really simple. You can set up an income stream in 2 hours that will then pay you passive income for life, right? Obviously it takes some work at the beginning to set it up, but it's very exciting. It's very exciting and motivating. Like there's now more opportunity than there ever has been, and you can do it because you have an internet connection. So you have everything you need, and you don't really need a job. So anyway, let me know what you think about this in the comments.